Ewe music is the music of the Ewe people of Togo, Ghana, and Benin, West Africa. Instrumentation is primarily percussive and rhythmically the music features great metrical complexity. Its highest form is in dance music including a drum orchestra, but there are also work, play, and other songs. Ewe music is featured in A. M. Jones's Studies in African Music. Characteristics. Jones describes two rules, the unit of time rule of the rule of twos and threes. African phrases are built up of the numbers chapter 2 or 3, or the multiples, or of a combination of 2 and 3, or of the multiples of this combination. Thus a phrase of 10 will be plus a plus 4. The rule of repeats. The repeats within an African song are an integral part of it. Quote, if a song is formally A plus B plus B plus B, one cannot leave out, say, one of the B sections. He also lists the following features of African music. Songs appear to be in free rhythm, but most of them have a fixed time background. The rule of 2 and 3 in the metrical build of songs. Nearly all rhythms which are used in combination are made from simple aggregates of a basic time unit. A quaver is always a quaver. The claps or other time background impart no accent whatever to the song. African melodies are additive, their time background is divisive. The principle of cross rhythms. The rests within and at the end of a song before repeats are an integral part of it. Repeats are an integral part of the song. They result in many variations of the call and response form. The call and response type of song is usual in Africa. African melodies are diatonic, the major exception being the sequence dominant sharp and subdominant dominant. Short triplets are occasionally used. The teleological trend. Many African songs lean towards the ends of the lines. It is at the ends where they are likely to coincide with the time background. Absence of the fermotar. Quote, cross-rhythmic structure. The ethnomusicologist David Locke states, cross-rhythm pervades Ewe drumming. Quote, in fact, the overall rhythmic structure is generated through cross-rhythm. Cross-rhythm was first identified as the basis of sub-Saharan rhythm in the early writings of A. M. Jones, and was later explained in great detail in lectures by the Ewe master drummer and scholar C.K. Ladzepo, and in the writings of Locke. At the center of a core of rhythmic traditions within which the composer conveys his ideas is the technique of cross-rhythm. The technique of cross-rhythm is a simultaneous use of contrasting rhythmic patterns within the same scheme of accents or meter. In Anglo-Ewe cultural understanding, the technique of cross-rhythm is a highly developed systematic interplay of varying rhythmic motions simulating the dynamics of contrasting moments, or emotional stress phenomena likely to occur in actual human existence. As a preventive prescription for extreme uneasiness of mind or self-doubt about one's capacity to cope with impending or anticipated problems. These simulated stress phenomena across rhythmic figures are embodied in the art of dance drumming as mind-nurturing exercises to modify the expression of the inherent potential of the human thought in meeting the challenges of life. The premise is that by rightly instituting the mind in coping with these simulated emotional stress phenomena, intrepidity is achieved. Intrepidness, or resolute fearlessness, in Anglo-Ewe view, is an extraordinary strength of mind. It raises the mind above the troubles, disorders and emotions which the anticipation or sight of great perils is calculated to excite. It is by this strength that ordinary people become heroes, by maintaining themselves in a tranquil state of mind and preserving the free use of the reason under most surprising and terrible circumstances. Ladzepo. 3-2. The most fundamental cross-rhythm in Ewe music and sub-Saharan African music traditions in general is 3-2 or 6-4, also known as a vertical hemiola. the cycle of 2 or 4 beats of the main beat scheme, while the triple beat scheme is secondary. Ladzakpo states, the term secondary beat scheme refers to a component beat scheme of a cross rhythm other than the main beat scheme. In a similar manner as a main beat, each secondary beat is distinguished by measuring off a distinct number of pulsations. A recurrent grouping of a number of these beats in a musical period forms a distinct secondary beat scheme. We have to grasp the fact that if from childhood you are brought up to regard beating 3 against 2 as being just as normal as beating in synchrony, then you develop a two-dimensional attitude to rhythm. This bipodal conception is part of the African's nature. Jones Novotny observes, the 3-to-2 relationship is the foundation of most typical polyrhythmic textures found in West African musics. 3-to-2 is the generative or theoretic form of sub-Saharan rhythmic principles. Agwu succinctly states, resultant rhythm holds the key to understanding. There is no independence here, because 2 and 3 belong to a single gestalt. The following bell pattern is used in the U rhythm kadodo. The 24-pulse pattern crosses the bar line, contradicting the meter with 3 sets of 5 strokes, across 8 main beats. The 3 single strokes are muted. The kadodo bell pattern is an embellishment of 3 slow crossbeats spanning 2 measures, or 3/8. Within the context of a single 4-beat cycle, the cross-rhythmic ratio is 1.54. Instruments: bell and rattle. The atoke, ganghogwe, and axatsa sound the rhythmic foundation. The atoke is a high-pitched gong played with an iron rod. The ganghogwe is a clapperless double bell that is pounded in shape rather than cast. It produces much less audible high partials than Western bells and is played with a stick. It produces 2 notes each of which vary and must vary among ganghogwe so they may be used together. The ganghogwe plays a key pattern, or guide pattern, which the orchestra builds upon, although the tempo set by the master drummer. Many bell patterns from 8 to 24 pulses are used, but the most common key pattern is the 12-pulse basic U, or standard pattern. The standard pattern, the axatsa, is a rattle, a beaded gourd instrument. The axatsa part which accompanies the standard pattern is party pa party 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 pa pa. The pas sound the standard pattern by striking the gourd against the knee. The ts sound pulses in between the bell strokes by raising the gourd in an upward motion and striking it with the free hand. As is common with many African rhythms, the axatsa part begins on the second stroke of the bell, and the last pa coincides with 1. By ending on the beginning of the cycle, the axatsa part contributes to the cyclic nature of the overall rhythm. See standard bell with accompanying axatsa part. At Syagbeka, drums master drum, Atamewu Atiwui, Sogard, Kidi, Keegan, bell, shakers, Dagbamba, talking drum, Breketi drum claps and song voice and hands.